Ratty and his sister were used as test mice in animal core. During those experiments, something went terribly wrong. Ratty and his sister became the very first anomalies, but each of them reacted differently. Ratty's sister began stretching in a very unnatural way. Little by little, a huge smile appeared across her face, and her eyes kept getting bigger and bigger. Eventually, she became the entity we know as the Shadow, or the infamous stalker that watches us throughout the hospital. Ratty's transformation was completely different. When he woke up, he was completely alone. He felt strange, but the only thing that mattered to him was finding his sister. He searched the entire laboratory but couldn't find her. The only thing he discovered was a photograph of her with a note that read, "The experiment was a success. The Shadow can see everything." Next to the note was a briefcase labeled Top Secret. He tried to open it, but it was locked. Just then, Ratty heard voices approaching. "We have to get rid of the rat." The moment he heard that, he grabbed the photograph, the note, and the briefcase, then ran for his life. Thanks to his small size, he managed to escape. But just when he thought he was safe, one of the laboratory guards spotted him and started chasing him. Ratty knew something terrible had happened to his sister, and if they caught him, he would probably never see her again. As the guard tried to grab him, he suddenly began transforming into an anomaly. Ratty took advantage of the moment, bit him, and escaped. For several weeks, Ratty stayed hidden because he knew the people from Animal Corp would keep searching for him. After all, he knew many of the company's darkest secrets. One day, while hiding in the streets, he suddenly heard countless screams. He looked around and saw an orange anomaly attacking other animals. He was terrified because it reminded him of everything that had been done to him in that laboratory and how he had been turned into one of those creatures. He stayed hidden, and after a few minutes he heard several ambulances arriving. He overheard that all the injured animals were being taken to the animal hospital, where they were supposedly receiving treatment. After hearing that, Ratty decided to go there. When he arrived, he spent days watching the hospital from a distance because he was afraid they might do something to him. However, something seemed very strange. He watched normal animals enter the hospital, but when they came back out, they had become anomalies. Apparently, because Ratty was already an anomaly who could still control himself, he also had the ability to tell who was an anomaly and who wasn't. While watching the hospital, Ratty noticed someone who looked very familiar. It was a doctor who looked almost identical to one of the scientists who had conducted the experiments on him at Animal Corp. Standing beside him was a nurse who looked just like one of the laboratory assistants. Ratty waited until they both left before sneaking into the hospital disguised as a patient. When he arrived, he spoke with one of the reception staff, but he didn't trust them enough to reveal his name. They assigned him to room 5. The moment he entered, a flood of memories came rushing back. The room looked exactly like the rooms where the experiments had been performed on him. He remembered that there was always a safe hidden behind the posters, so curiosity got the better of him. He removed the poster, and sure enough, there was a safe. It was already open. Inside, however, there was only the key to that very same safe. Suddenly, he heard someone approaching. He quickly grabbed the key, put the poster back in place, and lay down on the hospital bed. A few doctors came in to give him medicine. Ratty was terrified because he knew it wasn't really medicine. But after receiving the injection, he felt absolutely nothing. That's when he realized he had become immune to it because he was already an anomaly. So he headed straight for the exit. Before leaving, however, he overheard several employees talking. They admitted they were scared because so many strange things happened inside the hospital. They also mentioned that they weren't the first people to work there. The previous employees had disappeared after being attacked by anomalies. At that moment, Ratty realized something important. The staff had no idea what was really happening. They genuinely believed they were helping people. The following day, Ratty returned with the briefcase, the photograph, and the note. He hid them inside the safe in room 5. Once again, he pretended to be a patient so he could secretly store the briefcase, the note, and the picture of his sister. As time passed, Ratty visited the hospital more and more often. He gradually began trusting the staff because they always treated him with kindness, unlike the people on the streets who judged him solely because of his appearance. Little by little, he started telling the workers parts of his story. He finally revealed his name. He told them that his sister was missing, and he warned them not to trust anyone. Even so, Ratty remained terrified of encountering the hospital director. He knew it was the very same person who had experimented on him. If the director ever recognized him, Ratty knew it could be the end. So he decided to disappear for a while. Before leaving, though, he told one of the hospital workers his entire story in detail. He handed over the key along with a note telling them to check behind the poster in room 5. Ratty still hopes that one day someone will discover a clue that reveals what really happened to his sister. And that's the complete theory behind Ratty's story. Of course, none of this has been officially confirmed yet, but there are a lot of clues that could point in this direction. Hopefully the next update will finally reveal what really happened to Ratty, his sister, and the secrets hidden inside Animal Core. What do you think? Do you believe this theory could be true, or do you have a different one? Let me know in the comments. I read them all and your theory could be featured in my next video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future Animal Hospital anomalies, theories, and secrets.